Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, for day 2, returning from spring break. I hope we're all doing well. Today's video, again, just going to show you how we work through Tuesday, April 7th, and this is our earthquakes review. Okay, and so use the slides Tuesday, April 7th and the video shared to help answer the check-in questions on slides 5, 6, and 7. That's over here in the slides that I've already shared with you. The questions on slides 5, 6, and 7 are due Friday, April 10th after you finish Friday's quiz. So you have plenty of time to work on this. Make sure you say here in today's class comments section by 11:59 so I can save attendance property. That should be 11:59 p.m. not a.m. so you have all day to do it. So I mean, I got a few of you commenting yesterday because you got to me at 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. last night. You're not late. It was still that day, so your attendance is fine. Make sure it's by 11:59 p.m. I'll make that edit once I'm done making this video. So the test student will say here. And now that I know test student is here, we can start our lesson, which is again, using the slides and videos shared to help answer the check-in questions on slides 5, 6, and 7. Our topic is earthquakes review. So let's take a look at the resource shared. Cool. Okay, so start Tuesday, April 7th. So it looks like on the first slide, introducing some key vocabulary for earthquakes. Some of this might be new for us, some of this might be review. It's your job to make sure you understand some of this key vocab. Earthquakes, seismic waves, P waves, S waves. Okay. Big part here is that earthquakes are, as we know, the shaking and trembling from movement of rocks beneath Earth's surface, and the earthquakes are caused by built-up in this stress, and the stress kind of comes from like rocks catching on each other and not being able to move. So it's kind of like if you hold your hands, imagine you kind of wrap your fingers around each other and making kind of a closed fist on each of your hands, and then you try and pull your hands apart through your fingers. Eventually your fingers lose grip. That's kind of like earthquakes. Seismic waves are what gets made by earthquakes, and the seismic waves have P waves and S waves. This video here is a very awesome link to kind of model how P and S waves move. You can watch it right now. You can watch it, in a few minutes. That's up to you. But you'll use this video to help answer a couple of your check-in questions. Plus, this is really great. I'm just going to kind of fast forward to one part here.
So, solids rings, as I have the earthquake, is how a P wave travels. It bumps.
It shows you how the P waves move, and what's really cool is that it'll do it in slow motion.
What happens to the rings of the slinky as I have the earthquake? You're about to raise your hand. Bingo.
Okay, and so the video is very informative, very visual for us, so I strongly encourage you to use that as well to see how P waves and S waves move, as well as a few of their other descripting qualities. Next, for some earthquake key vocabulary, the focus and the epicenter. Okay, you see the focus. That was not going to be good. You see the focus, give you the definition of the focus, and a visual of where the focus is. Same for the epicenter. Okay. Notice the relationship between the focus and the epicenter. Which place is beneath the ground? Which place is on the surface? Okay. That's one part that you have to understand, where those places are. And also notice in the diagram here where do the seismic waves start? Where does our earthquake start? Does it start from the focus and spread out in all directions? Or does it start at the epicenter and spread out in all directions? Use these definitions and this visual to help you understand those ideas. And again, circling back for the earthquake visual, and these kind of recap what we've shared on a couple previous slides. The focus is where the earthquake starts, as you can see here, because the seismic waves start from the focus and spread out in all directions. The epicenter is on the Earth's surface. The epicenter is directly above the focus. Okay, it's not diagonal, it's not back here, it's directly above. So if you think of like yesterday's terms, deep, okay, deep isn't in a zigzag line. How deep something is when you go from top to bottom going straight down. So you could say that the focus is deep beneath the epicenter. Okay, many earthquakes, this is kind of new and we'll spend more time on this a little different day, but many earthquakes start at a fault. Okay, you see this line kind of cutting diagonally through our picture. That's a fault, and what that means is it's the boundary line between two different pieces of crust. We'll introduce that a little bit more Thursday and next week as well, but so you see that diagonal piece, that's a fault. But that means that like this chunk of rock here, that's a piece of the crust. And this chunk over here, that's another piece of the crust. You know, we want to think sometimes that the crust is all one piece. No, it's actually multiple pieces. It's several pieces. There are, well, again, we'll introduce it more, but there's, you know, about 20 main pieces, and then there's lots of other smaller chunks of crust. But that's our earthquake visual. Okay, so now you're into your check-in questions, and on each slide I reference use slides 2, 3, and 4 to help. So again, that's the information on key vocabulary, and the visual. Okay, you can also use this link as well. This link is the same link that when I go to it, it takes us to the video that I was sharing briefly earlier with you. And it's your job to answer questions 1 and 2 on each of these slides, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so which waves are faster? You'll notice that you'll have kind of a multiple choice section. Not multiple choice. You have an either or. You can be either P waves or S waves. Same idea for the next slide, but then I changed the vocab on you for the last slide. So how will I know your answer? Well, which waves are faster, P waves or S waves? We can do this one together. Okay, so we can go to 2 different places. We can use slides 2, 3, 4, or we can use this link. You know, I'm a bias. I like to use the slides since I've already made it for us. So why don't we check the slides first? Look for P waves or S waves because we're looking for the one that's fastest. This slide talks more about P waves and S waves, and so I see P waves are the fastest wave with less destructive energy. S waves are slower than P waves, more destructive energy. Oh, okay, that's pretty straightforward. Which waves are faster? Well, we know P waves are. And so just to eliminate any confusion, P waves is the right answer, so I'm going to delete the other answer. So the answer that you leave me is the way that I think you're going to answer the question. All right, so you can bold it if you want, but definitely delete, get rid of the answer that is not correct. Okay, you'll repeat that process in 5, 6, 7. Okay, pretty straightforward there. Tuesday, make sure you say here in the class comments section. Make sure you answer the questions posted on 5, 6, and 7. Yesterday, I posted the wrong office hours for you guys. I had marked it on my calendar a little different, but I was still there for both. I'd love for you guys to check in during my office hours, 12:30 to 1. If you have any questions and you want to check in, the link to that is posted right here. My office hours today, 1:30. Dang it, I did it again. It should be, it's not 1:30 to 2. I'm going to change that. It is from 12:30 to 1. I'm sorry for that mistake as well. And I have to change this to 11:59 p.m. tonight. One thing that, it's not specifically expected of you, but I really strongly recommend you watch this video. Watch this video, learn a little bit more, help review how P waves and S waves move, and understand the different qualities of each wave. Okay, yes, they're seismic waves, but they each have different properties. It's your job to understand those properties and to see how the waves move and which ones are more destructive, and being able to describe the different qualities of those waves. That's on you. Okay. Answers questions on 5, 6, 7. Did our check-in. That is it for today. You can turn it in when you think you've answered all the questions. Okay, you can ask me anything you might need help with. But again, if you turn it in, you won't be able to edit anything for Friday's quiz. So you don't have to turn it in today. You can if you want me to give you feedback. Have a great day.